Asiya is the co-founder of Harvest to Garnish. So I will now pass it on to you, Asiya. You have 2 minutes and you can start.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to meet all of you, and I really appreciate being a part of this webinar. Yeah, I'm the founder, the co-founder of Harvest to Garnish. It's in the name, Harvest to Garnish. So, teaching teens and kids how to cook with the food that we cultivate ourselves, trying the best to do that. The inception of it was actually at the Kitchener Farmers Market. I'm from Kitchener. Uh, and we had the luxury of working with them. They have a little, uh, some like excuse me, I was gonna say garbage beds, garden beds, where we grew some, like some small, uh, vegetables, and then we actually had a commercial kitchen in the farmers market, that we got to cook with, that we got to cook inside. Excuse me. My brain is, excuse me. Let me slow it down. I think I'm just having a lot of fun. I really love all the different presentations, that have happened so far. So thank you guys so much, for that. Yeah, so in terms of how we um, have been trying to work in like this concept of zero waste and trying to actually materialize this in the world, we've been able to have our most recent venture, which was this past spring, where where we are actually building a pollinator garden in a park, a local park in Kitchener. That's Elmsdale Park, and it was the site of a landfill in the 60s. It's now decommissioned, of course. So yeah, in the 60s and 70s in Kitchener was a landfill. Subsequently, also an area where there's a lot of newcomers, a lot of black and brown families in that area as well. So the city has done a lot of work in making an anthropocentric redesign, so to speak. But we've been able to, excuse me, we've been able to implement a pollinator garden. And for that, we've been able to bring back pollinator species into the area. Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Asiya, for joining us and telling us more about Harvest to Garnish and its initiatives.
So you work closely with young people, right? Through hands-on sustainability programs. So now, how do you see youth leadership shaping the future of zero waste and climate action in our communities?
Thank you so much. So youth leadership, it's inevitable. We were all kids at one point, and we've grown up today, and we've established our ethos, and we even if we think that what we believe and what we value doesn't have an impact on the world, it most definitely does. So, Harvest to Garnish, although we are a grassroots organization, we're not even incorporated as a nonprofit. I'm still in university myself. Um, we me and my other co-founder, Samira, that is when I say we definitely are trying to, like I said, establish the ethos of these incredibly malleable people, trying our best to put um, it in their conscience that climate action, it's not unique to them. It's not something that's independent from them. It's not that they are living and that climate action will happen independent from them, and they're in some kind of vacuum. You as a individual, whether you're a child, whether you're elderly, whether you're middle aged, whether you have whether you're rich, whether you're poor, so on and so forth, you have a space and work to do in terms of climate action. So, Harvest to Garnish right now, what we're trying to do with the pollinator garden, it is unique to what we've done previously with, just cooking and gardening, classes and field trips with high schools. Now we're trying our best to, put ecological literacy in the conscience of our community, in the conscience of young people in these communities, and making sure that it's something that they care about. It's something that they see themselves in as well, because, the environment will degrade regardless of if we care or not. And yeah, thank you so much for this question.
Thank you, Asia. It's very, very important for young people to be part of this discussion because Yeah, you guys are the future leaders, right? You guys are the ones going to make the policies. You guys, and it goes towards sustainability of our planet. So it's key. So the actions that you're taking now, it's very, very important and it's valuable. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, your programs combine gardening, cooking, and climate education. Why is experiential learning so effective in helping young people understand the value of food and reducing waste?
So in terms of experiential learning, in terms of, you know, hands-on learning or whether it's like lectural style learning, and we have the kids like taking notes and things like that. I I really, really appreciate it just because of my personality, being like the younger sister of two teachers. My oldest sister is a middle school teacher, and my middle sister, she's a high school teacher. So growing up in a household where education was incredibly important and also like the perspective of it of like actually providing education and being a, t a teacher as they are, like being people who value academia and trying their best to put it into common language to help, like I said before, these people, children that are just establishing their ethos. They haven't been on the world for much long, uh, excuse me, for a long time. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, so in terms of, valuing food and trying to reduce waste, um, just my experience as someone who worked at RARE Charitable Research Reserve, which is a plant research facility in Cambridge, which isn't too far from Kitchener Waterloo in Ontario, if you guys are familiar. Um, you know, being able to work in their community garden, which was actually providing food for the uh, the food bank. Excuse me, that split my mind. Yeah, so we were providing fresh food, something that's indifferent to these spaces where there's a lot of canned food. So seeing something as radical as that, that's what radicalized me and taught me so many things about gardening. Someone who liked to be on their phone, in grade 11, being able to work there and volunteer there with these incredible people and understanding it. It's why I wanted to start Harvest to Garnish because it taught me so much about myself, using my hands and genuinely, um, working and seeing the genuine fruits of your labor, so to speak. I think that's really fitting here. Um, it was amazing. And I just really wanted every child to have that experience. So yeah, thank you for that question.
Thanks, Asiya. Asiya. So great. So yeah, same analogy, being able to experience, to know where your food is coming from, where your fiber is coming from, like Nadia said, like that connection, establish that connection. So that's great. Thank you. Thank you for that. If cities embrace zero waste food systems, from composting to community gardens and food sharing, what impact could that have on climate resilience, poverty reduction, and community well-being?
Thank you so much. So, as an urban planning student, I study urban planning at the University of Waterloo. I'm in my third year. This is something that I wish my professors would help us to think about more and would help us to foster an understanding of more. Because as of now, um, from what we understand, it's 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 not something that we stress, speaking like specifically to zero waste food systems. Um, but if we were able to, materialize this world, it would be a beautiful, egalitarian, like utopian society that would definitely be something that um, you would see climate resilience, somewhere where you would see climate resilience manifested, just because although, we're speaking a lot about local communities because, of course, the action that we can do, it will always start within our local communities. But we have one planet, and with that, we have one climatic system as a whole. Like we only have so many oceans, we only have so much soil that takes millions of years to regenerate, which is important information to have as you know, we have a lot of, roads and things like that, which are definitely without a doubt, uh, eroding the health and like destabilizing uh, the soil that we could have used for food. But with that, we have to think of our local and global um, communities. And in terms of poverty reduction, it's been said like at the onset of like this panelist section, waste, like having waste is something um, that comes from like an overgrowth of capital. And it's good for us to, excuse me, I'm gonna go over time if that's okay. I like that, like the other speakers, like Nadia was saying, we need to critique the economic system that we live in because, you know, as Karl Marx said, capitalism is a fruitful monster and it multiplies. And that's what we're seeing when we're seeing that we can't manifest a world where zero waste food systems is the norm. We can't see that come back into fruition as it was like once upon a time as neoliberalism, which is another topic that we can discuss at another time with Environ Buzz. It's, yeah, it's blatantly in front of us. So, yeah. And finally, when we're speaking to community well-being, a world, where people are not overworked, a world where people can genuinely grow their own food. They can, you know, um, like the other speakers are speaking to, they can genuinely protect like the natural environment around them. That's a world where people are not overworked. It's a world where our labor is genuinely being um, valued and we're being compensated as such. But as of now, we can't see people who can, hunt in the evening and fish in the afternoon. Another thing that Karl Marx said. So that's why, uh, in order for us to genuinely embrace zero waste food systems, um, as we would like to see, we need to see capitalism, as you said at the onset of this, have a lot of policy to regulate it, and eventually move towards a different economic system that genuinely values our labor and thus
Yeah,
subsequently
yeah.
our food systems.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Exactly. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Thank you. So you said it all.